everyone, today I'm driving a 2017 Camaro 2.0T automatic convertible. I am driving through Latigo Canyon Road in Malibu, California. We're going to take the car for a spin and see how it does. Alright, so there's a mode selector right down here next to the shifter. I'm going to put it into Sport. The car is in manual mode. There are paddles right behind the steering wheel right here. Let's see what she does. Hopefully you can hear me through the microphone, top's down, so obviously going to be a lot of wind noise. So the thing that surprises me about this 6th generation Camaro and its Alpha platform is how direct the steering is and how sharp the front end feels. This is not like a Z01 or a 1LE or anything like that. It kind of just goes wherever you want it to, and the car is very neutral. That's quite surprising to me. I thought being this heavy and being still quite large than it is on the smaller Alpha platform that it would be prone to understeer, but no, this thing's a pretty neutral car. It'll definitely oversteer if you want it to. The 2.0T engine, again, is not my first pick, but it's surprisingly tractable. Less tractable is the automatic transmission it's paired to. The transmission seems a bit slow relative to what the engine's doing. It's obviously not first and foremost designed to be doing this, but it does it pretty well kind of once you kind of get it going. For the purposes of just like day-to-day driving and the occasional like straight line blast, the transmission works excellently. It's just when you start hustling it on downshifts is where it starts to fall apart. You know, the 2.0T engine is not the most characterful, but GM is pretty good about making all the Camaros sound pretty good for what they got. I'm not sure if you heard the V6. The V6 sounds pretty crazy. Obviously, the V8 sounds really good. And the 2.0T in this Camaro has some character as well. You know, it's not overly muffled. It's not completely silent. I hear it. You know, you can tell it sounds like a turbocharged engine. It kind of has that buzzy freneticism to it. You can hear just a hint of turbo noise coming out of the tailpipe. Although a muffler delete would go a long way if you're an enthusiast and you own one of these cars. So I mentioned the fantastic steering and the very well planted front end. The chassis balance is overall pretty good. Not much cowl shake. I'm not sure if you can tell, but I have my camera mounted on the windshield, and usually that's a pretty good tell of how much cowl shake and flex there is in the car. And this is surprisingly, the Camaro's super solid. Some of the cars I've been reviewing recently, you'll notice that their drop tops, that the GoPro camera is kind of just shaking a lot, and I can fix some of that in the post, but I can only fix so much of it. So I'm watching right now, and that really does have that's really a good feel for, you know, how rigid and stiff this platform is. And that pays dividends in both feel and performance. So I'm just gonna do a pretty standard make a right turn and merge the traffic. This is a 60-mile-an-hour zone. So we're in first gear, pull out, full throttle. All right, that was 60 miles an hour right there. Now, the engine feels urgent enough. It really seems like the transmission's what's letting it down. The transmission seems kind of slow. I mean, it's obviously, this is not a slow car. I think it's 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. If you actually do a launch, don't just pull out like I just did. But yeah, it really seems like the automatic transmission is what's holding this package back. I would be very curious to see if GM ends up in the future doing a 2.0T with the 1LE track package. I bet that'd be a really cool car. With a 6-speed manual and obviously a hardtop track work, I think this would be a really great budget track day car because it's going to be a little bit less hard on consumables than the bigger engine, heavier Camaros would be. But overall, positive things to say. The 6th gen Camaro is a huge improvement over the 5th gen. I like its infotainment screen. It looks very modern comparatively to anything you saw on a 5th gen Camaro. The materials all feel nicer. There's still some cheap plastics. I mean, what do you expect from a car that costs, I think, like under $30,000 starting? But overall, a big improvement. I'm sure the Alpha platform is well worth its weight in gold. Sounded pretty good. Some of the more recent turbocharged cars I've been driving recently have been like dead silent. This actually has, it makes some nice noise. You hear the exhaust. Yeah, not bad at all. For a consumer grade car that honestly most people buy this combo, the Auto 2.0T convertible, probably don't care that much about absolute performance. It's more than adequate. I mean, to be honest, this isn't probably too far off the pace of an early 4th gen SS with an LT1 at least. Definitely not the LS one, but that's a sign of the times and the progress that modern cars have made, that this thing can have. I think it's 280 horsepower, I believe, and be super solid. No thunks or rattles from a convertible Camaro. I mean, can you compare this to an F-body convertible, and it's like, it seems like General Motors has jumped ahead 50 years, not like 20.